Hello, collective and chosen ones. Yes, it's been a while since I've come back onto this channel, and I've really missed you. First of all, thank you for being here and spending some time and hearing what I will need to say and why it has been a while since I've come back. First of all, there have been so many changes in my life that I felt that I've had to take a break. Secondly, my spiritual guidance has told me to take a break and to allow the collective to focus on themselves individually. So every time that I used to pick up some cards or have a collective message, something would have stopped me from coming back online. But it is time for me to now start getting back into it, all because the world is definitely changing. Many others that are in your environment are also waking up. But it's not all a bed of roses. And what that means is that whilst you are still continuing to awaken and sorting out your own authenticity, others are also focusing on theirs. But there comes a time where there is what we call collective chaos. When we're sorting out our own energy and focusing on improving and getting into a higher energy, someone else is bound to clash with yours. That's because the level of energy is quite different. And this comes a time where we need to really practice patience and not having a lot of judgment on ourselves plus others. So whenever somebody is giving you a hard time or you're having issues with another, there comes a time where you have to concentrate and getting back into focusing on yourself. If it comes into a clash of personality or even just some sort of clash of opinions, there's a call for you to quieten down, walk away, and just do something else. During the time that I've been absent, it's been a course to reflect on myself. There had been lots of things that I could say that if it happened to others, they may have committed suicide or have been suffering from a lot of illness. But because I have worked really on focusing on myself, the things that happened had caused me to calm down and look at it from a different perspective. And I can truly say that I know that I have a lot of faith in Spirit, and God will see me through to work through my karma in the best way. So I know that my rewards will come where I will no longer need to go back to the past. I truly can feel that I've left the past. It's what I've called detangling. I can still feel others tugging at my energy because they're now seeing the new me and why I have not been spending any time with them. I've left a lot of people behind. And as much as it's a very painful process, there needs to be a lot of time by myself to reflect on it, apart from helping my mother with the day-to-day stuff. So I spend a lot of time, just as much as I can, in reflecting on certain things. I'm still journaling, so what I'm about to say will come through, and it may be a lot of random messages, but they're all related to not only myself, but to the collective and the chosen ones. There has been a lot of closure in the past, and because of that, it's not a very pretty sight to mourn for the last or previous life cycle. It's like going through a massive funeral where aspects of yourself and others that you used to entangle with or have connection with has died, or have all died. And a lot of us are seeing the new self, but you're not quite fully there. It's like dipping your toes just in that little area where you can see your future, but you're not quite there. You still might be called sitting on the fence. Some of you might be frightened because you don't know where you're going, and you know that you're mostly going to be there by yourself for a while because you're the first line in your family and your environment to hit that new area. So all I can say is that if there's a lot of things that requires you for forgiveness, it does not mean that the past has access to you. But in saying that, forgiveness might mean that certain people can still come back, but it requires you to have a lot of discernment as to how you feel when you think about them coming back into your life, and your energy level. Is it draining you? If it is, you have to let them go. We've spent so much time validating what other people think and being nice and very empathetic towards other people, but we failed to look after ourselves. So for me, I spend so much time just worrying about my family members, when in fact that the way they have treated me is a lesson, and they're my teachers, teaching me how to look after myself, which I've failed many times before. But now I'm learning. So in the past few months, just when I thought that things are all working out, something throws a wrench my way. And what I thought to be this turns out to be the opposite. So the universe is still testing me, and I'm sure the collective that I'm speaking to now, you're all feeling the same. All I can say is that please keep a calm composure and go within, and please do not react. There is no need to compare yourself to other people, but there is a very, very important message that comes from Spirit to say, is to compare yourself with yourself, as in, today, are you feeling better? What is your energy level? If it comes from the external, like somebody else is making you feel bad, this is the time to go back within and find out why this energy is projected back to you from the outside or externally. And like someone who lives near the train tracks, they no longer can hear the noise until someone points out to them. So this is what's been happening. We may have gone through so much that we cannot hear the external noises anymore, or our environment. Someone else is pointing it out to us. So it calls the time for you to detangle yourself from the external, because you've been made to be a scapegoat for a long time, and you've also allowed yourself to have others affecting you. So you've seen the monster too many times. You're no longer scared of the movie. You've been through the experiences. So this is an analogy of a scary movie that you've seen, but now you're coming out of the fear. Your body is now an alarm, and your guidance systems. Watch out for pain and symptoms. So the pain is still coming out of you, and that means that there's still more work to be done. But never blame yourself or others. Just take your responsibility and just keep working on yourself. You're outgrowing a lot of the people's environment and your past environment as well. So it's time for you to reset. And it's karma time, letting things play out. You're high ranking in the spiritual world. So jealousy is bound to come your way. But it's also jealousy from your past that's reflecting back on you. And it calls a time now where Spirit is allowing you to say, okay, are you still feeling jealous? If you still are, there's still quite work to be done. God has removed you from a table where you used to sit in order to save you from a host who was serving you in prison. I got this quote from a channel called Lullaby Vibes. And I really, really like this quote because it's exactly what's been happening. Now, you're going through a natural detachment. There's no need to feel anxious anymore or micromanage things. There's no need to prove to anyone who you are, because you're now coming to present yourself in an authentic way. There's no need to prove to anyone who you are. And if your family members still treat you this way, you know what to do. So there calls a time for a new kind of manifestation. Spirit is inviting you to have the faith to feel the new you before you even can see it now. So like the quantum healing, like someone who received the keys before even getting the house. They don't need the title. They don't need to prove to anyone. They just need to know that the time will come where the physical manifestation will come at its time. But there's no need to keep looking at the scarcity and the lack of it, because you have everything you want. So there's a greater intelligence that operates in silence without any errors. So this is the consciousness talking. So nothing happens to us without imagining it first. So everything that you see, the people that are successful, the things that manifested into reality, all comes from imagination. So all you need to know is there's no need to wait for anything that happens. All you need to do is now today, it's already happened. And just let that go. And watch the manifestation happens in divine timing. So there's a reminder that the invisible is beginning to take form. There's a lot of call for you to be silent and change the internal state first. So conscious, and that's the consciousness, perceived self as different. And you've already planted the seed. All it means is that there's no need to watch it. It will come when you keep nurturing it and water it. Your frequencies are your destiny, not your circumstances. I'm going to just keep looking at the messages because there has been so much going on that I really couldn't physically come online to present these messages. Now, if you're enjoying these messages, please don't forget to give me some feedback, and I really welcome to get your feedback from you as to how you're going and what's been happening, whether you agree or resonate with the messages that I've come through today. So most people only see what is only manifested into reality, into the 3D world. But Spirits is now inviting you to keep practicing seeing the unseen. Now that's also collapsing the ego. And your conversations with your ego is, there's nothing to chase. There's nothing to fix. There's nothing to prove. Nothing to solve. Nothing to seek. Because everything's already here. There's nothing to worry. And above all, there's nothing to fear. And a reminder to yourself every day that I am ready. I don't need to prove. I am alive. I am enough. I can. All this time, I have it all. And remember, all this time, from the day you were born, you have it already. I am aligned and belong to this alignment. I receive because I remember who I am. And my vibration matches and aligns with who I really am. The belief in you needs to be heard. Some of you are still getting memories and energy from someone else that doesn't belong to you. That's because you've accepted it from others for so long. You've stopped realizing who it belongs to. So scarcity travels through silence. We don't know most of the time, sometimes, that we've had it in us for so long, passed down from generations and our environment. This is a time to call for yourself and ask yourself, whose memory is this? Why am I feeling like this? And if it feels in a low vibration, it's not yours. understand that you're allowed to surpass others. Never apologize when they're upset with you. That's because you're no longer spending that time unnecessarily to meet their needs. And that's why it crushed their ego. And therefore, they will project on you. And they will start calling you things and accusing you of getting upset at them or something else. The list goes on. The only time where you have to pay attention is if you're starting to feel drained and very negative towards that person. It's time for you to retreat and get away from that energy. A lot of us are going through a cosmic gestation. And what that means is that you're already starting to remember a lot of things on who you are, and you're ready to receive. All it needs is to go back into tapping into this energy, like a radio station with different frequencies and different channels. And you cannot tap into a different music when that channel is specifically broadcasting a specific music. So when we use the same analogy of a radio station, you need to be clear on which station or which type of music or frequency you want to receive. You cannot get upset at tapping into the wrong energy when you've agreed to tap into that station. Therefore, you have to just stop and dial into another one where it resonates with you. Now, going back to the micromanagement or taking control of things, I'm not talking about taking control of the external. So lots of people that have been upset with you or you have not been resonating with, it's about you not managing your own energy, and therefore it clashed with others, and you are trying to take control of how you feel and taking control of telling the other person you don't agree with them. There's no need to do all that. All it needs is for you to retreat and be silent. Eventually, that energy is going to dissipate or go somewhere else where it resonates with them. And that's exactly what I've been doing, because as soon as I start to can feel other people's energy towards me, maybe wanting to pick a fight, that's the time when I have to focus especially on myself and retreating back into the inner world. And within no time, that energy just goes away, the low vibration. Things have been doing well with myself. I'm not saying that some things didn't work out. It did, like some things did turn into a little bit of a disaster, but that was a call for me to move away from that old vibration. And now a new energy has stepped in where I've been so calm, and the things that used to bother me really has no hold anymore. Sometimes I can still feel the demonic energy coming in, and that's when I know I haven't been focusing on myself. And then I just quietly focus back on doing what I need to do, take time off, have enough sleep, rest, do whatever it is. and everything just works out. But the importance for me moving forward now is to not have that fear, because fear is when you have already invited yourself or other energies to come back in, or you've stepped back into the old door where that was full of fear. I'm going to use the analogy of a car. Basically, I've been working on knowing where my destination is going, knowing how to drive a car, knowing where I'm going very clearly, and having the right environment and checking the tools and everything that's in the car to get me to the right place. You see, you already know exactly where you're going and where your desires are, but sometimes you allow external factors to distract you, and in some ways blaming others as well. We're constantly bombarded with things that we can't quite remember because of so much distraction, with a temporary amnesia. So the change happens when we declare that we are ready. We are simply returning home by recognizing our authenticity and stop running from what you seek outside of you. Another reminder that I've got from the collective reading is that you're asking your question, what are you currently entertaining at the moment? And who's controlling and talking to you at this moment? Do not mourn the loss. Celebrate your departure from them. The physical world is always catching up with the inner world. The hardest part is believing it's finished. There's always a better option. Keep exploring and leaving the old one that doesn't serve you. And you always had the blueprint to manifest everything that you desire all along. You just didn't remember this. You just didn't know how to achieve this. So life doesn't happen to you, it happens through you. For anyone that's still looking at different manifestation that comes into reality, the blueprint or the analogy is that you're the architect. The blueprint comes before the building. So the imagination is the tool. Time is not the delay, the doubt is. So the more you doubt yourself and the less faith you have, the more delays it's going to be for the manifestation to come. I'm going to leave it at that, and I will come back to another reading fairly soon. And in the meantime, if you're still with me here and listening to this, I really welcome you and to give me some more feedback, and I thank you for your time. It's been really nice coming back here online, and my sincere apology for anyone that has been wanting me to give you readings. It just hasn't been a right time for me to do special card readings or anything else. And thank you again, and I'll come back later on. Bye for now.